I hope that after the lunch you are not really sleepy now. Okay, if you can open the camera, then it's very good. Okay, hi Grace, hi Teresa, hi Eliana, hi Arun, hi Shona. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you cannot, then it's okay. Okay, so hello everyone, welcome you to the GDA, GDE, and also VPP track. Our session today will be delivered by me and Angela. The session name is review and spot your sales problem, because you know that sales is one of the most critical thing all the time for both sides, right? Because without sales, you cannot do anything later. For ICX, if you don't sales, then you stuck with everything. For OGX, if you cannot sell, then you waste your attracting effort. That's the reason why we have this session for you. And who is your first today? It's me, Andre. Currently, I was the RSD for VPP. Yeah, for IPRO term 2021, and in the last year, I was the MCVP IVPP for ISEC in Vietnam from 2021. And welcome my co-first, Angela. Angela, can you share a bit about yourself?
Yes, thank you, Andre. So I think some of you should have seen me yesterday. So Andre was like here today, and I was yesterday. So yeah, if you haven't joined the session, I was in the product report discussion session, and yeah, I'm currently the RST IGT of RO 2021, and previously also a LCVP IGT from ASEAN Hong Kong. So really happy to see some of familiar faces from yesterday, and I hope you find both days sessions useful. Yes, Andre, can continue.
Yay, thank you so much, Angela. So agenda of today, there will be two parts. So first is about, I will guide you on how to define the root cause of your problem in this way. And beside that, I will introduce you some tools so that you can like try to understand, and then you can apply to your operation later. So it's root cause analysis by me, and then you have a solution workshop in which you will have some triggering point from Angela, so that you can see how you can solve the sales problem in your entity when you run the product. Yeah, just that, very simple. Okay, just check in. Let's check in. You can just type on the chat box how much you are really confident with your sales performance from 1 to 10. So right now ICX already go through 2 months of sales, and then OGX maybe you have just started the sale pick. So what is your confidence level from 1 to 10? 5. Okay. Hey Kazuma, you have 20 opening. How come it's 5? I see you leading the openings. Okay, 1.5. Okay, 5. Hey, it's from 1 to 10, not from 1 to 5. Are you like misunderstanding? Okay. 2, 5. Okay. Someone 6 or 7 on 8. Okay, 5.5 probably. Okay. I'm looking for the 6 here. Anyone 6? Okay, it's okay, people. If I expect the number is low, because sales is never the strength of Isaacer, and as a head of product, like I guess that you also sometimes really struggle with how you manage the sales, and that's the reason why I'm here with Angela today to help you. Okay, just one expectation. I think just like the last stage. Because I will not tell you how to do the sales coaching or how to track your entity, because as MCVP now you are the most expertise one in the commission and in the space today. So I'm not gonna tell you about how to track. Yeah, because you are like already like every expertise at that. And it's been a long time I haven't tracked anyone, so I cannot also share with you. But what I can share with you is like first thing first. I can share with you how you can start doing your sales review in a logical thinking process. Yeah, because I think that is the thing that I'm learning through the time when I was the MCVP, and also through the time when I go to the business outside and doing sales as well, and like have a lot of things related to how you like analyze the sales process to figure out the problem. Then I think I can share with you some of the tools and also how to use that tool for your operation. Yeah, and first thing first, let's start from the why. why you need a logical thinking process. I will just have one activity for you, just very simple. Just type on the chat box or just randomly share. Yeah. Right now, just the case, and I'm just talking about the case. If you are failing your sales goal right now, yeah. So what possibly happened to your commission? Yeah. What possibly happened when if you face this situation? So maybe I can give you around 2 to 3 minutes to just brainstorm a bit and then write down your thoughts on the chat box, or you can just open the mind and say, yeah. I hope that you are not in this situation, but just try to think. Yes. Okay, I see someone assigning the resource. Hey, Kazuma, can you explain more about your answer? What does that mean by assigning the resource?
Okay. I think we assigning sales for, I think 15 people around that. But if you I wanna like improve the speed of like how to say, wait.
Okay, just take time to think of it.
Okay, so speed of achievement of the goal, because our sales process is delayed. So yeah. I think assigning resources, I think important thing, and our why failing.
Yeah, I think that makes sense about like how you allocate the resource within the LC, right? So yeah, so thank you so much, Kazuma. Is there any idea? You can just type in the chat box anything that you have in mind. If you are failing the goal, then what happened for sales? I'm waiting for your answer. Yeah, just type some short word. It's okay, people. Disappointed, depressed, and want to kill me is really motivating for them. I can feel you, Teraya. Okay, people not hardworking enough. Yeah. Okay. I think like all of your opinion really makes sense, and then it's also the reason why I'm here to deliver the session, because sometimes like we have different viewpoint on like the same thing happen, that we will have different perspective on that, and we will like have different assumption as well. Yeah, so you see, like I just tell you like what might happen, then we already have 4 idea about what possibly happened already. Yeah, and imagine like how many else situation that can actually happen more. So that's the reason why you need to have a logical thinking process, because if you, for example, you list down 3 things, right? But what if like the root cause is not in that 3 one? Yeah, and what if the root cause is the one who is like very down the list, and like in order to solve the problem, you need to tackle everything, or you need to go through each of the problem to see, to check, to test, to consolidate, and like at the end of the day you see like one of the problem that is really the root cause, but at that time like the time is already very late. Yeah, so that's the reason why a lot of problem need to be considered. Yeah, so as the MCPP you need to have some kind of logical thinking process method, so that you can define what is the root cause. First, you can use that to have the strategy for your commission, or second, you can use that for the coaching. Yeah, so that you can like guide people to have the, to get to the right spot on the problem. Yeah, I will tell you how. Expectation. I think when I tell this, like maybe some of you already know about it already, or like heard somewhere, but the whole point of the session is for you to have a deeper understanding about what is that and how you can apply. So it's very simple. It's the issue tree. Yeah, so anyone in you already heard about this? Like maybe you can type 1 so that I can see, and I can like see how I can how much deep I need to explain to you about the issue tree. 2. What does it mean by 2? Like you heard that? Okay. Oh, what does it mean by 1 and 2? So 2 mean you have heard.
Just now you said that. Just now you said that type 1 if you know. So I think 2 is they don't know.
Ah, okay. I see. Okay, really critical people. Thank you for being really critical. Okay. So to all, okay, so around 3 people already know, and the rest you don't know. Okay, then that's good. Okay, for the people who already know, you can look into the practice phase more so that you can practice that. For who don't know, you can heard now. So where issue 3 start actually? So it's actually from McKinsey company. So it's kind of a really like famous company in the consulting, in the business consulting. So they come up with this kind of issue 3 because they can see that when we have a big problem like this, yeah, so there will be a lot of things that is hidden that we might not know or we might not aware. And because we don't know what we don't know, right? So maybe we tackle the wrong problem. So that's the reason why if we tackle the wrong problem, then first the real problem is not solved. And then we might take a lot of time to get into there through the action, right? So they come up with issue 3 as a tool so that we can go deep into the root cause of the problem right from the beginning. Yeah, instead of going here and there. Yeah, so what in here, very simple. So you have big problem, then you break down into the 3 layers. So the first layer is like the you know, like the surface problem, and then you go deep into the sub issue, and then you go deep into the sub issue until the time when you see, okay, that's the thing that I can tackle. Yeah, so that is the thing you should consider. So issue 3 is simply like this. I will tell you one example. When it's talking about the profit, right? When it's talking about the profitability in the business outside, so I think it's kind of the same in your entity, but maybe it's more simple in Isaac. So in order to increase profitability, this is a big problem. Then how you can define, so what is the hidden problem behind? Yeah, and then there will be 2 parts, right? Increase profit, you can increase the revenues, or you can either decrease the cost, right? There is 2 ways. Yeah, and then in order to increase the revenue, so what is the sub branch? Yeah, you need to attract more customer, or either you increase the revenue from the existing customer, isn't it? Yeah, and in order to decrease the cost, then you have 2 ways. First, you decrease the fixed cost, and or you decrease the variable cost. Yeah, so you see, this is the big problem. Yeah, and this is the smaller branch. See, and then this is the smaller branch. So right now, for example, if you are the decision maker in the business, instead of asking yourself, so how I can increase the profit, then right now the problem is much more clear. Okay, right now, how you can attract more customer, or how you can decrease the fixed cost. It's a lot more clear, right? And it's a lot easier to solve, isn't it? Yeah, so that's basically the way on how we use issue 3. When we use issue 3, you can use it in 2 ways. So first, you can consider this as a problem solving, as a problem. For example, right now, you see the profitability is really low. Your company is dropping. Then you want to figure out the root cause. Then you try it so that you can see the, okay, which is the thing who is not working here. Yeah, or you can use that as a solution. As a solution mean right now you want to increase the profitability, you look into different possibility here, and you will see like which is the thing I can tackle. Yeah, so for issue 3, you can use it either to define the root cause or to define the solution. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit more business, but I will tell you about more into Isaac context. But before that, I want to give you some notice when you use issue 3. So first, I tell you 3 layers, right? But you doesn't necessary to follow that 3. It can be 4, it can be 5, or it can be 2. It depends on when you can see the problem is solvable enough. Understand? Yeah, that's the first point. The second point, you will see like there will be different branch, but actually you can make some area of you deeper than others. What does that mean? For example, when you see here, and as a decision maker, you know that, okay, maybe the cost is not a problem with my company because recently like we manage the cost very well. Yeah, but so maybe like the assumption can be is from the revenue part. So maybe you deeper into that to save time like that. Yeah, that's the point. And the third one, the ideal number of branch is 3. Yeah, but 5 is acceptable, but avoid that because when you make the 5 branch, then it's very hard for you to do the issue tree. Yeah. And next, it must be messy. Yeah. So what does that mean by messy? Then I will also tell to you about what is messy. Yeah, messy is the second tool I want to share with you. Why we need to be messy? Because yeah, because like, do you have the question in your mind that, for example, like how can I know that I already list down everything, right? How can I know that I already list down all the scenario or all the thing that is possible happening, right? So messy is the tool that can help you to do that. Yeah. So messy here means that mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. What does that mean? It's very simple. That mutually exclusive means that there is no overlap, which means on the layer is the separate problem. Yeah, separate problem, no overlaps. And then collectively exhaustive means it's no gaps, which means like all the thing you list down already a whole part of the problem. Yeah, you don't miss any kind of scenario like that. And that means everything. You need to list down everything. Yeah. I will take one example. For example, for this, you will see it's messy because you have 4 problem, 4 branch, and then it's already fit with the whole context. Yeah. For this one, it's not messy because it's had gap, which means you haven't list down every problem possible. And then this is also not messy because it's everything, but it's overlap on others. Yeah. And then it's also not messy because it's also overlap and at the same time it's gap as well. There's a gap here. Yeah, so it's not messy in the logic. Yeah. Another example, you will see, for example, if you list down have a task that you need to group the people from 0 to 100 years old. Yeah, so for example, the first you break into 2 groups from 0 to 15 and the rest, then it's messy. Yeah, but if you do like this, you do into 3 groups, into 2 groups, but it's overlap and then it doesn't count everything, then it's not messy. Yeah, easy to understand, right? Okay. So why messy in the issue tree to define the sales problem? First, it makes the logical thinking process clean because you will have own kind of solvable problem there. Yeah, and you don't miss any point. Also, you don't need to spend your effort into solving the same problem different times like that. And second, you don't risk to miss anything. And third, there is no duplication of work, which means you spend the effort solely to the separate problem. Yeah. So I know that you got the information, but maybe you will not know how to do that. Yeah. So I will have a working space for you to practice messy, and after that I will also share to you the output of how you can define your root cause. So the task of you now is that you need to start with a big problem you see in the sales operation with a proven data. Yeah, and then you need to draw an issue tree based on messy to define the root cause of the problem that you are having now. Okay. Expectation, don't be pressure. It's practice time, and then be messy. Okay. So the working space is 10 minutes, but I think we kind of lack time. So I think let's have 7 minutes for everyone. Yeah. So I will share to you the workspace. You just duplicate the sheet, okay, and try to find the root cause for your sales problem right now. Enter your big sales problem here. Okay. Break it down. Break it down. Okay. Here you have 7 minutes to do that. I hope that you understand the task. And if you don't, then just raise voice. Okay, 7 minutes.
你的一生，我直接一程，走过这程，也许会变得陌生。我是你的曾经，你是我的永恒，擦肩而过，缠出了相思的疼。你的一生，我直接一程，走过这程，也许会变得陌生。既然没有约定，也不必为谁等，变做路人的我们守住记忆的城。生命中和你偶然的相逢，让我走出了寂寞的围城。
Hey people, any point that you don't know or you concerned, then just ask me. Yeah, if you have any.
爱能穿越时空，人海里我们紧紧的相拥，彼此温暖了午夜的寒梦。就算以后会各自启程，我们的重逢依然不再可能。你的一生，我直接一程，走过这程，也许会变得陌生。我是你的曾经，你是我的永恒，擦肩而过，缠出了相思的藤。你的一生，我直接一程，走过这程，也许会变得陌生。既然没有约定，也不必为谁等，变做路人的我们守住记忆的城。你的一生，我直接一程，走过这程，也许会变得陌生。我是你的曾经，你是我的永恒，擦肩而过，缠出了相思的藤。你的一生，我直接一程，走过这程，也许会变得陌生。既然没有约定，也不必为谁等，变做路人的我们守住记忆的城。既然没有约定，也不必为谁等，变做路人的我们守住记忆的城。
3 minutes and a half more people. I will open a Vietnamese song for you.
My job is to make Xin lỗi em bao nhiêu ngày
mãi sẽ lớn lên bằng những tháng năm tim chưa từng rung động. Xin lỗi em, anh đã lừa dối em, nói với em sẽ mãi ở bên em. Chẳng ai sẽ chết nếu thiếu vắng một người nhỏ bé giữa cuộc đời. Trái đất vẫn cứ xoay khi ta lạc mất tay. Mình rời xa nhé, hãy tin anh, hãy sống vì mình. Anh mong ai đến sau sẽ yêu em nhiều hơn anh. Đừng cho anh nữa, hãy quên anh. Năm tháng nhạt nhòa chuyện mình rồi cũng sẽ qua.
People remember to be busy. Okay, no gaps, no overlaps.
Về chuyện tình hai ta, vì mình không thể cố chấp tin rằng tình yêu một mãi sẽ lớn lên bằng những tháng năm tim chưa từng rung động. Xin lỗi em, anh đã lừa dối em, nói với em sẽ mãi ở bên em. Chẳng ai sẽ chết nếu thiếu vắng một người nhỏ bé giữa cuộc đời. Trái đất vẫn cứ xoay khi ta lạc mất tay. Mình rời xa nhé, hãy tin anh, hãy sống vì mình. Anh mong ai đến sau sẽ yêu em nhiều hơn anh. Đừng cho anh nữa, hãy quên anh. Năm tháng nhạt nhòa chuyện mình rồi cũng sẽ qua.
Haha, someone say love the song. Ah, that's a nice song. Okay, 1 minute for people. That's the
Mình rời xa nhé, hãy tin anh, hãy sống vì mình. Anh mong ai đến sau sẽ yêu.
Okay, people, it's done for 7 minutes. It's okay if you haven't finished now, because I will just guide them like how to do that, and like we'll take one example for you. It's okay. You can always do the rest after the space, because I think that's important for you to define the root cause of you. So right now, can someone, like maybe someone that do a little bit much already, can volunteer to share, and I can feedback to you directly on that. Yeah, anyone? I think Malaysia, Korea is kind of already have a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I can share.
Oh, who are you?
Teresa, Korea.
Ah, okay. Hello, Tyria. Okay. Here. Good job.
So thank you. What I try to do is like we do not have enough applicants in general, and if we have any, they are not quality enough. So I put them together. And what I see there is like we have kind of a little bit of wrong promotion on the LCs, because like firstly LCs are doing activities without a planning goal, so it's not kind of like the promotion, but it's just the activity for the LC, because they are a little bit depressed in case of the OGX right now, and they don't know how to do that. Secondly, they have like the wrong targeting market. It's not specified enough, and they don't know how to work with the persona, even though they maybe have it. Secondly, we are not matching AR. Firstly, we do not have enough AR partners and opportunities in general. Secondly, we do not have specified persona for each AR partners and opportunity we are having, and we are lacking the communication with the AR partners right now, from our side and from their side as well, since we do not have them. Yeah, and thirdly, it's like the wrong expectation settings from the EP side. because they have a high expectation in case of going to highly competitive countries, and they do not have the requirements, for example, from the language or something like this. And I did not specify the concrete problems yet.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for Terra for volunteering. I think like the output is makes sense. Just some feedback. I think just some brief feedback. I think it's cover much of the thing, but I think there is one thing that you can mention more to be missing here. Is that maybe you missed the thing from the internal. Yeah, from the internal. It's like the membership problem. Yeah, maybe like all of this is met. But if the people don't work, then you also cannot attract the quality applicant. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. Then I think you can consider also about the internal and external. You can divide into external and internal, so that is easy, because external and internal is for sure like the whole package. Yeah, and you can start from that so that you don't miss any branch. And that's the reason why we need to keep MISI in mind. Okay, I will just flip through like one example I do for sign up an application problem for OGX, and you can look into this to see how you can miss it. Okay, yeah, I think OGX people can relate to this a lot, but IGT you can see on how you can develop a MISI case. Okay, for example, right now the conversion rate from sign up and application of you is low, right? OGX people. So you can have two way of thinking. Yeah, so if you have sign up, but you don't have apply. Yeah, so what happened? So the two first big branch can be because your member don't contact the sign up, right? And then second is your member did approach. So you see, these two MEC, because there will be no other case. Either your member contact or your member don't contact, right? Then it's the way we do MEC, we do the opposite thing. Yeah, and then for your member don't contact, and then it can be the member commitment and time. So there is some kind of commitment problem of people. And then maybe the lead isn't assigned. So that's the reason why the member cannot contact, because it's not assigned yet on the, maybe on your tool, there is some problem like that. And then if your member approach, then maybe there will be two cases, right? Your member approach but not successful. Your member approach and successful. So there will be two cases only, right? So it means it. So after that, if your members approach successfully, but the conversion rate is still low, then it can be four scenario. Then you don't have the OP, or the OP is low, so that they cannot apply, right? The sales follow-up process of you is not followed by your member, or it's about the sales capacity. They try to sell, but it cannot because the persuasion is not enough, or the timeline problem. Yeah, so when you look into this is the solvable. You just need to look into the data to see which is the thing that stops you right now. Yeah, so that's basically how we do MISI, because this will be the thing that is solvable for you. Yeah, and based on the data, you will see which is exactly the problem of you, rather than you stick into this big problem of low conversion rate. Yeah, you understand what I mean, right? So that's how you use MISI. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to my issue 3 part. So right now you already have some rough idea about what is the problem. So right now it's the solution part from Angela.
Yes, so thank you.
You can share the
Andre.
screen, Angela.
Yes, I'll share the screen. I'll try to make it as fast and quick and brief as possible, because you all have another session in after 7 minutes. So if you find anything unclear, or you find anything that you want to ask any questions further, so please approach me later on and give me your questions, and I'm very happy to answer more, talk more about that. So I'll just go through very briefly. You can take your time to read the slides later on and also ask questions. So firstly, after you have a key question or you find an issue from the issue trees, it's very important to also generate a solution that hopefully solves the problem. And sometimes, of course, if your problem is that I don't have a persona, then just make a persona, probably will do the work. But if it's a more complex problem that is not involved about I didn't have something, then you might need to think more, or it might really makes you more frustrated or struggle to make a new solution. And yeah, just want one answer if we can. How do you normally generate your solutions? You can type in the chat box if you have. If no, then we can continue. I'll give you 10 seconds because we don't have a lot of time. It's okay if you don't really know what do you normally generate your solutions, because I do not know actually. It just pops up in my mind. I just use it. Okay. So normally if we think of solutions and when we evaluate solutions, we always hope that our solutions are very creative, they have very great impact, and they are very implementable. But most importantly, it's always to solve the problem, because you don't want to generate a solution that will not do the work, but you want to generate a solution that is also creative, it has the impact, it's implementable, and it does solve the problem that you see at the first step. But oftenly, it's very easy to forget and very easy to like not match. So the first common error is that the new strategy rolled out is very ambitious. So you have a lot of things that you want to achieve. For example, if I make it very ambitious, I want, for example, this program or this event to achieve brand image, I want increased sign-up numbers, I want better client relationships, all in one program might be too much for you to track and too much for you to really get everything in that one program. And what you normally get out of it is that you don't have all the things you want to achieve. So you either do improve brand image, but you cannot have better planned IR relationship. So like being very ambitious sometimes will not do the work. Secondly, is that there's no exact MOS for the strategy introduced. So i.e. you don't know what you want to do with this new thing, i.e. you don't know what you will want them to achieve. And then what probably is in your mind is that you might only want to do something, but you think that doing something is better than nothing, so you do something. So normally in this scenario, you don't really know what you want to do, and you don't exactly have a very big goal that you want to achieve or what you want to like solve at the very end. That makes the whole process very unclear for you and very not systematic. So here today, firstly, I would like to introduce the problem statement framework, and then also some ideas, brainstorming ideas, some rebuttal ideas. How do you formulate a good solution in order to really solve your problems? So firstly, how might we is a very good I think it's a very good statement framework. I'm not sure if you have heard of this before. It's very useful in design thinking if you have done design thinking before. But basically, it's a very easy framework. It's just helping you to frame the whole question, like frame the whole problem in a very specific question. So for example, just now, if you say that, oh, my conversion rate is very low. So you can think about how might we increase the conversion rate from applied to approved. So you frame the whole question down into one thing, but you don't make it very, very like ambitious, and there's a lot of frameworks and a lot of things about it, but only about one question, and you are focused on answering one question only. And also it's very useful when you're doing like observation and need-based questions and also solutions. So for example, if you're thinking that if your outgoing side and your outgoing side is very looking towards youths who are looking for social elements, they want to network with each other. So you might also think of how can we include social elements in our GT programs and nurturing stage. So you make it very narrow for you to solve the problem and think all the things within the statement of problem. And then you can think of some crazy brainstorming ideas. So firstly, it's a crazy 8 idea. Crazy 8 is basically you time yourself and then you explode your ideas there. So it's very useful for you to not really be evaluative, because I think most people that I've seen from the AP region is very, very evaluative, which is very good, but sometimes it might restrain us from brainstorming ideas. So this is a very good way to help you burst out all the ideas you have. Second way is being a smart copycat. So I think this is something that we all do, but how do we really be smart is that we need to be smart to get the most impactful copies that we can have, and then later on we actually implement them and really implement the GCPs that you can listen later on. Later on you'll have a GCP session. Don't just listen to them, but really think about what are the things that we can really implement it into your entity, and think of those drivers, think of those commonalities, and then do it. Thirdly, it's role storming. Basically, you take on a role and do your brainstorm, and it helps you to understand more of the stakeholders and more of the better scope of the whole idea and the whole process. Fourthly, it's the failure mode and effect analysis. Basically, you help to really think about fine-tuning it. So you're not bursting ideas anymore, but really to evaluate them. How can it fail? What can it go wrong? And then you talk about what are the things that you can do to prevent this from going on, or what are the things that you can do on top of the original thing to make sure that everything is covered fully. So this is also a very good way to make sure that you are very risk averse, and also you can get through all the bullet points. At last, it's always to keep things natural and simple. So remember to write everything down. And also, you need to know that holding a brainstorming meeting is very important. There are a lot of tips on the internet that will tell you what to do, how to make everyone involved, how to make people like input even they don't have any ideas. But also it's a very important thing. So if you look at the PowerPoint, I actually put in some references at the bottom. So you can also add the speaker notes, so you can also take a look at those if you have time, and there are a lot of very useful steps. And at the very last step, just make sure you plan well with all the implementation plans, and you walk through the whole process as if you are presenting to a board meeting or whatnot, and make sure you go back to the impacts that you want to drive. And it's like a vicious circle, like an impact circle. So what you do actually drives what you think would help with your problem, and ultimately how it solves the problem. So it's a very big loop at the start. And yeah, we don't have time to try, but make sure you still really do all the things that we mentioned, find a problem and think of the solution. And because you still have half a year left and even more, so you still have your chance to break different records and bring good results. And just make sure you use the time wisely. You can feel free to use any of the frameworks, any of the things that we mentioned, and you can feel free to practice as well. And you can send in some questions or any feedback outputs you have for me and Andre, and we can give you some feedback, and we are very happy to help you more as well. Yep, so that's the end of my wrapping session. I'm very sorry that I wrapped through everything, but make sure you really look through the slides and the outputs, and let us know when you have any questions, or if you want to try out anything and you want to let us know if you are going on the right track, or if you are doing on the right thing for the right time. So yeah, that should be the end of our session. I don't want to drag any longer here. So if you have any questions, just ping me, I'll ping Andre, and you are free to go for your next session. I think it's back in the main room. Yes. So yeah, thank you everyone for your participation.